Number 10, Human Dissection, Corpse Party.
スースーするけど濡れたまま履いてるよりいいや。
Getting transported to a haunted alternate reality isn't even the worst part of Yuka's problems. After she's separated from the group, she finds solace in the friendly-faced Yuya, except he's a psychotic killer too, go figure.
ゆかちゃん、ここからは抜け出せない。絶対にみんな死ぬんだ。だから、最後の瞬間まで僕らは兄弟でいよう。
What follows is a murder too graphic to describe in detail, but let's just say it involves rope, blood, and lots of screaming.
Yuka!
Arguably, the worst part is that Yuka doesn't succumb to her wounds until later, meaning she had to endure all of it to the very end. Look, we aren't expecting mercy from a show with corpse in the name, but this is taking things a bit too far. Number 9, a good head on her shoulders. Akamega Kill. The first rule of assassinations is to always survey your surroundings. Unfortunately, Chelsea failed to follow this maxim by not accounting for Kurome's lackeys. She only succeeds in royally ticking off Akame's younger sister, which leaves the night raid killer outnumbered, outgunned, and sorely out of luck. At least she's surrounded by pleasant flowers, because her demise is anything but. Not to mention the fact that a noble warrior's death is totally out of the question. Instead of a proper burial, her corpse is decapitated and used as a gruesome scarecrow for Tatsumi and the others. Though this one probably wards off more than just birds. Number 8, Harvest Season, Shiki.
あと少し。あと少しよ。国道を渡ってあの向こうの暗闇に飛び込んでしまえば人間たちには見えない。
This bloody farewell is painful to watch, and not just because of the obvious face crushing. Megumi is a Shiki, sure, but all she wanted was to move to the big city and live a quiet life. She's tantalizingly close to achieving her dream too, when the mob finally catches up to her. In exceedingly cruel fashion, they don't make her death quick either. It's difficult to stomach her hysterical cries as she's torturously run over by a tractor, especially since the collapsed skull isn't even what puts her out of her misery. A steak could have done the same job and saved a lot of cleanup. Number 7, Seeing Red. Higurashi when they cry, go. It's impressive that the mountain of corpses aren't even the most astonishing parts. No, that honor belongs to its culprits.
おいしい。
探しましたよ。
In the original series, the friendly neighborhood policeman Oishi never succumbs to the madness-inducing Hinamizawa syndrome. In fact, he routinely saves others from it. Well, except for that one timeline. But this parallel retelling decided to spice things up with a fresh seasoning of human remains. Oishi arrives at the festival, kills some innocent bystanders, shoots Mion and Shion, and then beats Rika to a bloody pulp. The sheer excess of it all is brutal enough, but it's especially damning coming from a character we never expected to have a violent streak. Number 6, Slice and Dice, Future Diary. There's a deep sense of irony that the only person who could expose Yuno's psychotic tendencies is left unable to speak. Of course, that's courtesy of Yuno herself. who slashes Aru's throat to prevent him from divulging her true plan. However, that's still not enough assurance for her. With nary a second warning, she decides to permanently tear Aru's page from the series' diary.
You know, don't do this, he's not a threat anymore!
Coming at the tail end of a particularly bloody episode, it's hard to even catch your breath, let alone prepare for this impromptu decapitation. Aru's final moments are spent typing a message to his friend, but unfortunately, Yuno's blade was faster than his fingers.
I need to warn my beloved Yuki.
Number 5. Double Trouble, Blood Sea.
So you don't need us anymore. We're finished, aren't we?
Don't let their looks deceive you. These twins are anything but innocent. But even so, this punishment might not fit the crime.
You're overreacting. We didn't do anything that bad to her. Relax. We didn't tear off her fingernails or break any of her bones.
After revealing their deception to Saya, Nono and Nene become the new chew toy for a demonic dog who's far from house-trained. He plays fetch with their body parts until they're nothing but loose limbs and bloody puddles. And the visual is not for the faint of heart. Then, just for good measure, the Cerberus decides to eat their remains for dinner. Thanks to the pup's lack of table manners, this scene is 2 brutal deaths for the price of 1. Number 4. Human Skewer, another. They say lightning never strikes the same place twice, but once is more than enough in Izumi's case. Just as she was about to start permanently expelling their classmates, Mother Nature decided to give her a failing grade in trusting her friends. The storm gets so intense that it shatters a nearby window and fully shish kebabs her from head to toe. But that's not even the end of her woes. After a heartbreaking goodbye, she's content to bleed out in peace.
覚えてる？まったく。やなっちゃ。
And she might have gotten that if the building itself hadn't exploded, leaving her buried in rubble. Talk about overkill.
赤澤さん。
Number 3, the final job, Akudama Drive.
あの子たちを四国まで運んで。
身勝手な女だ。
Against a gang of aptly named executioners, it's clear there's no last-minute scheme capable of saving the swindler this time. But even if she was an average girl simply pretending to be a criminal, she still spends her last breaths helping the others get away.
あなたたちは絶対逃げて。だってこれはあなたたちが決めたことだから。
Unfortunately, she can only confuse her assailants for so long. When they don't buy her story, they cut her down quicker than the blink of an eye. The quiet sound design and religious imagery lend the scene a deeply tragic gravitas, but at least the swindler lived up to her name until the very end.
私はただの一般人です。私は詐欺師だ。
Number 2, Gon's Rampage, Hunter x Hunter.
もうこれで。 終わってもいい。
Unnecessary roughness doesn't begin to cover this brutal beatdown. Even more surprising, it's coming from Gon of all people. The usually chipper Hunter is left without a healthy outlet for his rage when he discovers the Chimera Ant mercilessly killed Kite. So he makes Pitto his new punching bag, but not before attaining some upgrades. At the risk of losing all of his nen for good, Gon forces himself to mature in order to dole out some worthy retribution. To say he succeeded would be a massive understatement. Nothing left of Pitto's face remains by the time Gon is finished with them.
じゃんけん。
Number 1, Sekai's Bloody Valentine, School Days. After a full season of relatively tame love triangle hijinks, this much despised slice of life ends with a literal slice that adds new meaning to the phrase a messy breakup.
やっぱ世界の思い込みだったのかなあの様子じゃ。
Let's just say anyone who expected a happily ever after was left sorely disappointed when the show suddenly became a slasher film. Admittedly, Makoto was a complete ass, but it's completely unwarranted when Sekais starts going at him with a kitchen knife. There's just nothing that can prepare you for the straightforward romance ending with its leading man in a body bag. Apparently nothing says young love quite like murder. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.